Welcome back to Project 613. Over the past few days, we've been learning about the mitzvah given to the Jewish high courts to establish the Jewish calendar and to calculate the months and the years and to proclaim Rosh Chodesh on a monthly basis. Now, as we conclude our discussion on this topic, there is one last question that we will address, and that is, we've been learning that the way the Beit Din would establish and proclaim Rosh Chodesh each and every month was that they would hear eyewitnesses who would come and testify that they've seen the new moon. And only after the eyewitness's testimony was corroborated based on the Beit Din's own astronomical calculations, and after the eyewitness's testimony was cross-examined and found to be true, then the Beit Din would proclaim and sanctify the new month, and the people would know when to observe the Jewish holidays. And this is the way the Torah instructs us to set the calendar, that it should be based on eyewitness testimony. So of course the question is, nowadays we just have a set calendar, and we all know when Rosh Chodesh is, we know when the Jewish holidays are. We do not have eyewitnesses giving testimony. Why not? Isn't this the way the Torah wants and instructs that the months should be established? Why is this not done anymore? And when did this stop? And will we ever go back to the original system? The answer to this question is, as we've mentioned a few times over the past few days, this mitzvah was given specifically to the Jewish courts in the land of Israel. And not just any court, but a court whose members have a specific type of smicha, a smicha that could only be given in the land of Israel, and a smicha that can be traced all the way to the time of Moses. And the members of the great Sanhedrin, the members of the Jewish Supreme Court in the land of Israel, always had such a smicha. So this system, therefore, lasted so long as the Sanhedrin, so long as the Jewish Supreme Court was functioning in the land of Israel. This system was able to work, and this mitzvah was able to be observed in its original form. But what happened was, in the 4th century of the Common Era, the Romans finally forced the Sanhedrin to disband. And this was already a few centuries following the destruction of the Holy Temple. Even after the destruction, the Sanhedrin, the Jewish Supreme Court, still continued to function. But in the 4th century, when the Jews were finally forced into exile and the Sanhedrin was forced to close, at that time there was a great sage by the name of Hillel. And Hillel foresaw that there would soon be a time that there would be no more sages in the land of Israel who are able to oversee this sanctification of the new month and proclaiming of Rosh Chodesh. And therefore, in his concern that the Jewish people for all times would be able to observe the holidays, Hillel set a calendar that works until this very day. Hillel included in his calendar many astronomical calculations, and he came up with an intricate, detailed calendar that runs on a cycle of 19 years, 12 regular years, and 7 leap years, and the cycle continues every 19 years. And until today, this is the calendar that we follow. And Hillel and his Supreme Court sanctified every single month from his time until the end of times. So Jewish people, wherever they are, would always be able to observe the holidays in the correct way. However, in the time to come, when Mashiach comes and the Sanhedrin is reinstated, the original way of proclaiming the month on a monthly basis based on eyewitness testimony will return, as the Sanhedrin will be reinstated. And as we say in the verse every time the ark is opened, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah dvar Hashem Yerushalayim, from Zion the Torah comes forth. And as our sages explain, this verse is actually a reference to this specific mitzvah. It's from the high court that sits in Jerusalem, that this mitzvah could be observed in the way it's intended to be. May we merit that day very, very soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.